my first question is, or actually this quote from the survey is, well, in both romantic relationships, I was in a toxic and unhealthy one. I was cheated on, and then I was gaslighted for something the guy did. Gaslighting is like guilt tripping. So I have trouble trusting boys, which will probably mess up with future romantic relationships. How do I know if I'm in a healthy relationship?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't have a definition of a healthy relationship from like a clinical standpoint, I guess, which is a weird word to use about relationships. But, anyways, in the relationships that I've been in, what makes me feel confident about, them going well is that respect, obviously. If you don't feel respected, then that person is not worth your time. If they're constantly putting you down and, making you feel bad about something about yourself or something that you do, then that's a obvious red flag. Um, Trust is another big thing. If you or your partner are often jealous for no good reason, then that's something that you should definitely talk to them about. If they have problems with you having male or female friends, um, because they feel insecure, then that's something that you should have a discussion about. Insecurity is another big problem, which plays into jealousy, but just understanding that everyone has different comfort levels and everyone is going to feel a certain way about themselves, and that brings a lot of problems into relationships oftentimes because people aren't sure how to apply their own problems to other people or how to deal with those problems in a relationship. So I would say trust, respect, and communication are the three big things.
Yeah, and then Mabel, what if that relationship, doesn't quite go well? What if you guys break up? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, so just a personal anecdote. I was in a relationship for, I think we were like a week short of a year, so a year basically. Um, and we were really close, and things just kind of came to an end with quarantine because my dad is high risk, and so I was trying really hard not to, you know, do anything outside of the guidelines, and that led to me not being able to see him as often as I would like. And he decided that he couldn't deal with that anymore, and we broke up. And the breakup was really abrupt for me, and I spent a month or two feeling like I had done something wrong, or that there was something more I could have done. So because we had such a close relationship, I texted him and asked him if we could have a more in-depth conversation about it, and we did. And now we're back to being friends and we're talking again. So I think the biggest thing with breakups is that you have to try not to judge yourself, and you have to try not to be hard on yourself. If the breakup was amicable, obviously if you cheat on someone, then you should probably reflect on that a little bit. But, if things just kind of naturally came to an end, or you just stopped clicking, that's just something that happens with people, and giving yourself space and giving yourself time to think about it without being negative is really important. I think another thing that happens in breakups is that people tend to focus on all of the good things and kind of ignore the points where things were bad. And so they think, oh, why did we break up if we did this and this and this? And like, we went on this date and we went and did this thing. And they don't think about all of the times that things maybe weren't going so well and think about the things that actually led to the end of the relationship. Or they do the opposite and become spiteful and hateful and think of all of the little things that their partner did wrong rather than focus on the good times and just understand that things don't always work out. So yeah.
Yeah, I actually, that was great, Mabel. I want to quickly respond to the second half of that quote from the survey, which is, so I have trouble trusting boys, which will probably mess up relationships in the future. To that, I want to say, you can talk about your past relationships with your current partners, and telling them what you've experienced might, and seeing their reaction might be a great way to gauge how healthy that your current relationship might be or could be in the future. Because like, I think we often think of it as, okay, I've broken up with this person, I'm gonna move on now, never gonna look back, right? Never gonna bring it up again, just try and see where the future holds. But in a future relationship, you can talk about the past. You can talk about what's happened in the past. And being able to talk about that is, I think, something that might be challenging, but also something that will greatly strengthen that relationship. Just being able to verbally communicate what you expect and what you've experienced. So now let's go into this question, which is, or the survey response, which is, I feel I'm not mature enough for a serious relationship, but at the same time, I have a sense of envy for the people who are dating right now, which I think is a camp a lot of people are in.
I can definitely attest to that. I've had experiences in my life, middle and high school, where I was definitely not mature enough for a relationship because I didn't have any like self-respect or self-love at that point. But I would watch all these people around me in both middle and high school start dating, and I'm like, well, you know, if I started dating someone, maybe they could show me that I should love myself and all these reasons that I should respect myself or whatever, which is terrible, you know, having to like rely on a relationship in order to feel self-love, that doesn't make any sense. So even though I've never dated in my entire life, it's probably a good thing because I was able to find myself, find my identity, realize who I was, and then find like what morals I put out into the world and what I feel like I deserve, because now I have self-love and self-respect. So if I ever do get in a relationship, I won't solely depend on this one person to show me why I should feel loved and why I should feel respected. I will love that person for them, not for what they can do for me. And yeah, it's hard when you're feeling sense of envy, because my twin brother had a girlfriend for like a year and I was super jealous. I was like, why is he dating someone before I'm dating someone? And I know some of my friends can attest to that too. But it's good to find yourself first and find your morals and what you deserve before jumping into something, because you might regret it later on. It's better to wait in this instance.
Yeah, another thing, I think something that a lot of people deal with, especially in high school, is the like, you know, wanting to date someone because other people are dating people, which honestly is just kind of dumb because like people, you know, people have so many expectations about high schoolers, but no one really cares if you're dating someone or not. And if they do, that's their problem. Like if there's no one that you're interested in, or you don't feel like you're in a place where you can add another person worth of stress and emotion in your life, then just don't worry about it. Like it's not a big deal. Um, the other thing is I had my first boyfriend in 6th grade, and it was like, haha, let's watch Spider-Man and eat froyo. You know, like if you want a relationship, it doesn't have to be like a huge big stress thing, you know? Like you can just hang out with people and enjoy your time and not worry about what other people think about whether or not you're in a relationship. So